All right, so now that we've both planned and we've launched lessons and activities to students, we're now going to use the last component, which is reflecting on how students did within Scholar Education and take a look at data insights. So from the home page, I'm going to click Reflect. And in this page, you're going to see an overview of how students in general are doing, what they're chatting about with BaxterBot. From the top here, you can select different dates. I'm going to choose this whole month of January. You can see overall who is communicating with BaxterBot and what they're chatting with him about, these conversation themes. You can click in here to see what those conversations were and who were saying those things, and also when students were chatting with BaxterBot. Then from here, it can get more granular and go into how students by period are interacting with BaxterBot and performing, and then by student. So let's take a look at my first period class here. I'm going to look at that lesson that I just launched to them about friendships, kindness. Let's find it. We can either search for it or select it. So here's that unit and lesson and these two activities. So if I click in there, I can see what students were talking about with BaxterBot, what those conversation themes were. I can click in here to see who was saying what. And then also the assessment, how students were doing, and if they were chatting with BaxterBot during an assessment. Then I can go in by student to see how they were interacting with BaxterBot as a whole. So you can see here, Liam was not very active. He only chatted a little bit with BaxterBot, but I can see his whole chat log to see what he was chatting with BaxterBot about. Also in Data Insights, I can see how students are using their accommodations. So I'm going to click in, I'm going to search for Amelia. Again, you can choose a specific date range. I'm going to do all of January, and you can see how many days and the percentage of time she is using her assigned accommodations. We can see specific days and a percentage. I can also click here into the calendar view to see which days it was that she was using those accommodations. Like down here, personal reader for text was on the 27th. I can also go into assessments to get data insights on how they're performing with those assessments. I can filter it by student or class and by lessons and units. And I can also export this page and create a CSV file, Excel, or PDF. So this gives you an overview of your whole data insights on how students are doing after they've worked on lessons and activities within Scholar Education.